The 2009 Royal Rumble is the one Royal Rumble I don't know that I've ever heard anyone review or really even in detail talk about at any point. The most I've ever heard about this Rumble is that Randy Orton won, but that's kind of it. I've never watched it myself, so as I'm writing this before watching it, I'll be watching that Royal Rumble today. Let's see, did anything stand out? Was there some crazy moment that we're missing out on and we don't even know? I don't know, so let's just get right into it. As soon as I started my Peacock, this banger started playing, and if you don't know how that song goes, let me sing some for you. Cause when I come alive, I could take you higher, make you, but I don't want to get copyrighted though, so I'd say you just go listen to it real quick after watching this. This has a promising start already. This banger is hitting. The main highlight of this beginning is that Beth Phoenix had a match. The women's championship was on the line against Melina. It started off with Beth Phoenix just ragdolling Melina around using her power strength. Melina started to build momentum by targeting the arm, and yo, Jerry the King Lawler said on commentary best, I've never seen anything like this ever. Look what I'm about to show you. Yeah, she was really using her own leg to hit her in the back of the head. I've still never seen that in 2023. Surprisingly to probably a lot of people, after 5 months, Beth actually dropped the title to Melina. Overall, it was a pretty interesting match. Then another storyline hit, and the storyline we're going to talk about is actually one based on reality, one that actually turned the 2008 economy crisis into a storyline. That's wild. Shawn Michaels was talking about how a lot of people got hit very hard by the economy, which was actually true, and that he wasn't immune to it. The idea of this is genius. Turning this into a storyline is genius. So Shawn Michaels took a job with JBL. Pretty much Shawn Michaels was going to follow whatever JBL decided to tell him what to do to cash that check. Later on, a match was set for the World Championship at the Royal Rumble. John Cena ended up having a match with Shawn Michaels about a week before Royal Rumble on Raw, and they put on a banger, which John Cena called out and told Shawn that he isn't a broken man. John Cena said to his face, "You're the showstopper. You're Mr. WrestleMania, not JBL's puppet." I mean, Shawn actually did beat John Cena before. JBL was there the whole time and responded to him by saying, yeah, he knew Shawn Michaels still had it. That's why he hired him. In the eyes of JBL, this just wasn't personal. This was just business. The story here was that Shawn Michaels didn't want to take money from JBL. The only thing was the crisis was hitting and he wanted to make money somehow, so he did it. Shawn was going to be in the corner of John Layfield during the Royal Rumble match against John Cena, and Shawn pretty much told John Cena, if it costs you the world title, then so be it. So the question leading up to this was Shawn Michaels gonna cost John Cena the world title or not? Before the match, the backstage segment building to the match would air, JBL went up to Shawn and said he would pay him that night that he became world champion and that he wouldn't ever have to wait for him again. This seemed to intrigue Mr. WrestleMania, and then a picture is worth 1,000 words. The idea here was who was gonna walk away world champion. JBL was in control of the majority of the match early on, and eventually John Cena and JBL took their action to the outside, and John went to hit Shawn Michaels, hesitated, and got hit in the back for it. John Cena eventually tackled JBL to the ground and started punching him and hit his patent shoulder tackle, and 5 knuckle shuffle setup. He hit it, set up an AA, JBL reversed it with an elbow and took back control. Then John Cena dropped toe hold and locked the STF. They were facing Shawn Michaels. The ref instantly warned Shawn not to get involved. Although Shawn really didn't seem to fully help JBL, Michael Cole gave credit to him as a distraction that allowed JBL to escape the STF and take back control. With this distraction, when John Cena got back in the ring, instantly a clothesline from JBL was hit. 1, 2, kick out. John Cena was still in the world title match. John Cena would go for an AA, JBL would get out and hit an accidental big boot on the ref. Shawn Michaels got in the ring and was loading up a sweet chin music. Who was the showstopper gonna hit though? Boom! The kick connected. Shawn decided to kick John Bradshaw Layfield. The crowd went crazy, and John Cena, with a relieved smile on his face, seemed, well, relieved. And then, in a classic twist, he hit John Cena with another sweet chin music. The crowd was still popping. Then he grabbed JBL and helped him by putting him on top of John Cena for the cover. HBK was out of the building. Eventually, a ref came down to the ring and made the count. 1, 2, John Cena kicked out. They eventually got up and John Cena hit an AA. 1, 2, 3. Against all odds, John Cena took the championship home. Overall, it was a match I enjoyed a lot, and in case you were wondering, they would face off in a winner take all match, and Shawn would win that's how that story ended. Now, let's get into the real meat of this video, the actual Royal Rumble match. Right before the start of this Royal Rumble match, Randy Orton was seen backstage doing a promo with Chris Jericho. Chris Jericho was pretty much telling him that he didn't blame Randy Orton for what he did to Mr. McMahon on Raw. He said that he thought he was going to see the creative genius, but instead saw someone who was worse than the fans themselves. What he's referring to here is that Randy Orton smacked and punted Vince. The idea here was pretty clearly setting up who was going to win the Royal Rumble. People were saying Randy Orton was a controversial entrant because of what he did to Vince McMahon. So would Randy Orton disrespect Vince like that and then go to a Royal Rumble, win, and main event WrestleMania? What was the ending of the Royal Rumble going to look like? Which got started by playing the yearly video package where they show stats from the event. The Attitude Era commentators were back for this event, which is cool. John Morrison and Rey Mysterio were number 1 and number 2. The ring started to fill up and out came the Giant, the Great Khali. The elimination of the Giant came after though. Then at number 7, the music that started playing was "It's all about the game and how you play it. It's all about control and yeah, instantly he locked eyes with another monster. I don't think people really talk about how powerful this version of Triple H the game was. Everyone always talks about that Evolution run or his 1998-97 run, but this one is underrated, and I don't even know why. His character actually did win championships too. The house starts getting cleared. John Morrison is almost eliminated. Then the countdown begins again. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then this music hits. I hear voices in my... And I think one of the coolest things about this Randy Orton is that he ain't scared of nothing. Like, I don't even know anybody else on the main roster at the time that really would have stood up to Triple H the way Randy Orton did when he came down that ramp. He came down the ramp, he had a purpose in his walk, and he went down to Triple H and they started squaring off. And Randy Orton got the upper hand here. Also, a coin was flipped to see who would take the first spot in the Royal Rumble. That was pretty cool. What I like about this Rumble is that, like any other Rumble, there are some really believable wrestlers who you believe will win. Number 1 and 2 are also still in the match and seem to be going the distance, which is also a very great thing in any Rumble. A couple of former and future world champions came into the ring and RKO started getting hit like one after another after another. There was also a cool spot in 2009 where somebody got saved on the outside. Rey Mysterio managed to save himself from elimination. The rest of the match was just a Royal Rumble. They brawled and everyone was going over the top rope. There were some returns and surprises though. Rob Van Dam actually returned during this Royal Rumble, which was cool to see. Hacksaw Jim Duggan also made an appearance and they were hyping him up as the first to ever win the match. By the way, let me know if you guys would like to see like a review of like the first WrestleMania. More than likely, the biggest entry on this list besides Randy and Triple H was The Undertaker. When he came out, house started to get clear. This felt huge. And speaking of huge, that's a nice segue. He started battling with Big Show. In the end, it came down to the final two, Triple H and Randy Orton. And in the end, Randy Orton won, pointing at the WrestleMania sign, and that was it for Royal Rumble 2009. Overall, I rate this pay-per-view a 7 out of 10. It was better than I expected, but it still wasn't all the way there. I feel like something was missing. Let me know what you think. Do you guys like this pay-per-view? Is it the most forgotten Royal Rumble? Type in the comments below. Honestly, guys, I really enjoyed making this video. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and share. Do anything that know my channel popping. Peace out.